This boy is Gabriel Rodrigues Castiglioni, and he is about to commit one of the deadliest school attacks in Brazil. Within just 1 hour, this school shooter will attack 2 schools, leaving 4 people dead and 12 injured. But what makes this case even more disturbing is that he had been planning the attack for 2 full years, starting when he was only 14. In 2019, 3 years before the massacre, when Gabriel was just 13 years old and a student at Escola Estadual de Ensino Fundamental y Medio Primo Bitti, he endured systematic bullying from his classmates. Ironically, this was the very same school he would target first, in 2022. During that time, Gabriel was socially isolated. His peers gave him humiliating nicknames, insulted him, and subjected him to constant verbal mockery. These experiences planted something deep, a growing sense of revenge, that 1 year later would evolve into a meticulous plan, a big strike prepared over 2 full years. His plan rested on 4 main pillars. First, weapons training. Starting in 2020, Gabriel secretly accessed his father's firearms from time to time. His father was a lieutenant in the Espírito Santo military police. His focus was simple: learning how to properly hold the guns and control recoil. Because access was limited, progress was slow. But perhaps the most striking detail, almost ironic, is that much of his training came from YouTube tutorials. Second, in-depth reconnaissance of the area. From 2020 onward, he repeatedly visited the surroundings. He studied every corner of both target schools, mapped entry points, exits, escape routes between the 2 buildings, just 1 kilometer apart, and vulnerable spots. This part was easy for him, which later made the attack fast and efficient. Third, ideological influence and online radicalization. Gabriel became active in neo-Nazi communities on Telegram, especially within Telegram channels, a decentralized extremist network that promotes accelerationism, the idea that violence should be used to accelerate social collapse. He adopted the aesthetic of Atomwaffen division, military camouflage, a swastika armband, and a skull mask. Police later found copies of Mein Kampf inside his home, along with other extremist material. Although he left no complete public manifesto, his clothing, his symbols, and his actions clearly reflected inspiration from previous attacks. Fourth, logistical preparation and cover-up. He carefully planned how to disappear back into ordinary life. After carrying out the attack, he returned home, hid the weapons, ate lunch with his parents, as if nothing had happened, then left with his family for a beach property. That decision bought him several critical hours before police finally apprehended him. Once the plan was fully in place, the day arrived. November 25th, 2022. That morning seemed completely ordinary in Aracruz. Wearing the outfit he had prepared, Gabriel took his father's weapons, along with a wrench, bolt cutters to break the padlocks, and the family car. His first destination, Escola Estadual de Ensino Fundamental y Medio Primo Bitti. The attack began at approximately 9:30 a.m. Disclaimer: unfortunately, there is no public footage from the first attack, so for that part, I'll be using reconstructions based on the official timeline and investigation. But the second attack was captured on security cameras, and later in the video, you'll see the real footage. He arrived by car and parked near the side gate. Using the tools, he broke both padlocks securing the entrance. Once inside, he moved directly toward the teacher's lounge, located close to that entrance, where staff usually gathered during recess. He stopped at the doorway, holding a .40 caliber handgun, then opened fire immediately. Multiple rounds were discharged at the teachers inside the room, hitting at least 11 people. The immediate outcome was devastating. 2 teachers died at the scene: Maria da Peña Pereira de Melo Baños, aged 48, and Cybele Passos Becerra Lara, aged 45. A third teacher, Flavia Amos Merson Leonardo, aged 38, succumbed to her injuries the following day. Chaos spread instantly. Screams, teachers and staff running for cover, others trying to barricade doors, students panicking in nearby hallways and classrooms. The entire assault at this school lasted less than 3 minutes. After that, Gabriel did not continue searching for more victims. His primary focus appeared to be the teachers, suggesting a targeted act of revenge linked to past bullying and isolation. Between 9:35 and 9:45 a.m., he moved quickly toward the second school. He ran back to the car and drove roughly 1 kilometer along the exact route he had studied months earlier. At that moment, the police had still not been alerted, which made the transfer effortless. At 9:49 a.m., he reached his second target, Centro Educacional Praia de Coqueiral. He parked, entered through the main gate, unlocked that morning, and stepped out carrying a .38 revolver. He ran toward the courtyard. During recess, he aimed at visible students and staff and fired. A total of 8 shots can be counted. Then came a crucial moment. He attempted to reload, but failed. A key detail, because timing had clearly been part of his preparation. This second attack left one 12-year-old student dead and several others injured. It lasted around 1 minute. Unlike the first school, he did not move deeper into the buildings. The assault was faster, less lethal, and ended with an immediate escape. At 9:50 a.m., the escape began. His first move was to drive straight back home, just a short distance from the crime scenes. Once there, he hid the weapons exactly where he had taken them from. What followed was perhaps one of the most disturbing details. He sat down and had lunch with his parents, as if nothing had happened. Cold, controlled, deliberate. After lunch, he joined his family for a pre-planned trip to a beach property. Meanwhile, the police investigation was already underway. Emergency calls flooded in, witnesses contacted 190, schools were evacuated, and the injured were transferred to hospitals, some in critical condition. 3 elements proved decisive in locating him that same day. First, the vehicle used in both attacks was captured by school security cameras and nearby surveillance systems. Although the license plate had been partially altered, the car remained identifiable by its model, color, and local characteristics. Second, witness testimony and urban surveillance footage helped reconstruct the route back to his residence. And finally, his direct connection to Primo Bitti as a former student led investigators to prioritize the family home as the most likely place to search. At approximately 2 p.m., he was arrested. After Gabriel Rodrigues Castiglioni was arrested later that same day, the legal process moved quickly. Just weeks later, in December 2022, he received the maximum sentence allowed under Brazilian juvenile law: 3 years in a youth detention facility. Under Brazil's juvenile system, that is the harshest possible punishment for anyone between 12 and 18 years old, regardless of how severe the crime is. His release immediately sparked outrage across Brazil. Families of the victims, survivors, and much of public opinion questioned how someone responsible for 4 deaths and multiple injuries could walk free after only 3 years. The debate quickly returned to national media. Many asked the same question: where is justice for the families who never recovered?